Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 2 pre-party. Look, we did it, folks. Can you hear me? Leave a comment. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I don't do a sound test beforehand. I just want to make sure we're all there. So anyway, I figured out the chat. My name's Dave Neal. If you're new, thank you so much for joining us. Starting this new live stream. Let's go in for a tighter shot there. Oh, this is important. Oh, we eat too much. I've got a little bit of a delay here on the chat, but I'm going to try to get to everybody. Everything we're going to talk about today is in the rundown. I put a little rundown here. Becca's engagement ring. Real important stuff. Real hard-hitting news. I know there's an election in 15 days, but I want to know more about Becca's engagement ring. That's what's important to me. Maybe put some music back on. Did you guys like this in the background? Doesn't that feel good? That record sound? Theo said, we can hear you. Right on time, Miss Lola Liz. Monday nights, right? Well, look, we're not doing the Bachelorette recaps now until the morning after. I used to release them right after. You know, it would take me a couple hours. I still make them right after, but it's not the most pleasant thing for the algorithm. If I can release the recaps at 8 a.m., everyone gets to see it, both coasts, you know, then YouTube goes, oh, look, people actually like this. Versus what I used to do was release them at like 2 a.m. West Coast time. So like I had a few people in Australia that were like, yay, content, and everyone else was just alone in their sleep. Jacqueline Hernandez is ready for the tea. Are these comments popping up on the, let's see if this alert box. I got the alert box here, but I don't see any comments coming up in the actual video. Maybe I'm just missing them. We'll see. We will see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to you guys for about 5-10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to get into the rundown. This is just a chance for us to chat, and then once we have some more people in the room, we'll get into it. Then what I'm going to do is I'll re-release this at 8 a.m. tomorrow without this early jibber-jabbering, and then people can watch the rundown after that. So if anyone needs to, use the bathroom now, and if you could and haven't already, leave a voicemail. You can call this number, and then it says like press 1 to leave a voicemail. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to worry about performance anxiety. There was a girl named Jackie. Should I say her last name? I remember it was 8th grade. Maybe 9th grade. I'll give her credit. It was 9th grade. And she was calling me. And I was a dork. I was kind of like a weird kid. So like I would get nervous around girls, but I didn't think girls would get nervous around me. And I remember she left a voicemail on my parents' phone number. And this is what she said to me. She goes, hey, Dave, it's Jackie. No, I already messed it up. This is what she said to me. She goes, hey, Jackie, it's Dave. And then she just got quiet. And then like a second later, she was like, I mean, hey, Dave, it's Jackie. And then she just hung up. And I was like, well, I'm never going to forget that for the rest of my life. We get anxiety. This new generation doesn't have to make phone calls anymore. Isn't that crazy? These young Generation Z, they don't have to knock on someone's door and say, hi, Mr. Johnson, is Rebecca home? You know, they don't have to call someone and be like, you know, talk to someone's, you know, Marine father and get scolded before he gives the phone up. Sammy G said a collab with Chatty Broads or Game of Roses would be legendary. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. I live in Hollywood. You know, if they want to hang out, let's do it. I used to always see Nick Viall in Santa Monica. I would see him I would see, you see everyone in Santa Monica. You'll see Owen Wilson would bike by, and then Schwarzenegger. I mean, Santa Monica is a great place for people watching, but I used to always see Nick Viall riding by on his bird scooter, and it would make me wonder, like, what's this guy up to, you know? Like, he's just living the dream. He's been on the show. He's got enough celebrity to where he's, like, respected within his community, but then he also can pretty much go places and not be. You know, like he's like C-level fame. And I don't even mean that in like a derogatory way, because what does that make me? You know what I mean? Kyla can't stay, but she's excited for the upload tomorrow. Yep, great. We'll see you in the morning. Sammy said earlier, I wish people knew about the live stream because it's so organized and informative and casual. And Dave's a good speaker. Thank you so much. Hey, look, I'll be honest. I got no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this live stream, like the X's and O's of it. But when it comes to stand up and wanting to relate to people, that's my jam. This is what I like to do. And I remember, like, whatever the day was, maybe it was like March 19th, everyone was like, all right, we're just going to go home for 2 weeks. Everyone's got to go home. And I haven't really done stand-up since then. I did I did 2 outdoor shows, and they're okay. People have masks on, but everyone's, you know, socially distanced, which I respect. You're supposed to be, but it takes away the love that I have for connecting with others. The reason I got into Bachelor recap videos, the honest reason, is because it was the first content I ever posted on YouTube where people actually started engaging with me in the comment section. The best part about the recap videos isn't making them, it's interacting with people after. It's someone saying, hey, I love that thing you said about the so-and-so, whatever, you know what I mean? And the recaps have changed over the years. If you look back to some of the earlier recaps, I was saying like hard swear words, and I'm all about that. But YouTube, I didn't realize YouTube can hear what you're saying. So if I wanted to talk about something that happened, very dark in society, YouTube will pick up on that and demonetize the video. So I try my best not to swear. I try my best, to play the game that they have, because if you don't play the game, they just won't show your content to anybody. So that's the idea. A collab with Bachelor fan take. Man, that guy's killing it. He is just insane, isn't he? Yeah, Nick Vile, Oz said that Nick Vile seems cool. I actually didn't really like him at first, but then again, I was influenced by kind of the character. Like, they brought him onto the show. He's hooking up with so-and-so. I didn't even know him from the past seasons. I saw him first on Caitlin Bristow's season, and I kind of like fell bait for that. But he seems like a decent guy, sort of introverted. You know what I don't like? I don't like the quippy Twitter responses. Like, everyone is always trying to slam each other and come up with these genius responses. I think he's kind of part of that culture. Like, when my buddy Leo was the villain, Leo's a guy I used to play baseball with. He's a friend of mine. I've had him on the podcast. He's a normal guy. He's a normal guy you would talk to in left field at the baseball game. He's not worse. He's not better. He's a good example that most people do try their best, but we're all human. And he got, he threw some alcohol into it, some ego, this and that, some sleep deprivation. He didn't make himself look good, but then, come on, it always seems like the winner of Bachelor feuds is whoever's the most famous. Isn't that how it works? Whoever's got the check mark and the most followers wins. And he kind of got like, I don't want to say banished from the group. I don't think he wanted to be a part of it, but if you play your cards right, there's a lot of money to be made. Nick just bought his first home off of Bachelor money, and he worked hard for it. There's money to be made there. All right, are we ready to get going? Should we get this thing started? Lesia Mela, message retracted. Now I want to know what she was going to say. It says message retracted. What's up? Was it Leo with the long hair? Yeah, Leo with the long hair. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if you know me, Sammy, long enough, but I used to have longer hair than Leo. You got to go back on the Instagram. I'm not gonna lie. When we played baseball together, I had the long hair. He was kind of jealous of my hair. I tell him this all the time. When he grew his hair out, I go, "Hey man, I had it first. You're just trying to steal off of my thing." But yeah, he's a decent guy, and he basically has had to step down from his job doing stunts at Waterworld because someone accused him of sexually like assaulting or harassing somebody because he took photos with like people after the shows. It's like, golly, trust me when I say that I'm very aware of the power and the dangerousness that's behind the mob mentality. There's people that deserve the mob, but there's a lot of times, almost in every case, it goes too far. Almost in every case, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It goes too far. Sammy discovered me last week. Thank you so much. Is anyone else going to leave a voicemail? Call in now. Leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828. That's not my phone number, but it's Google Voice, and it actually goes directly to my phone. So I'm actually able to respond to it. I can send you a text back. Sammy called in last week, left a very good voicemail. I'll tell you this, Sammy. I shared it with my fiance came home from work at the end of the episode last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, people called in. I got a phone call from Caitlin, and we got a caller from Florida, and I played her the voicemail, and she was all excited because she was like, that's so cool. It's really cool to connect with people in new ways. And like I was getting to before, that's kind of what has been the challenge with stand-up going away, is finding new ways to communicate with people that is authentic to me. Bachelor Nation, the whole thing, it's really just a common denominator for us to talk about humanity, psychology, human interactions. That's really all it is, right? We're able to talk about it because I don't have to go to the water cooler and be like, hey, do you know so-and-so from my softball league? But you can be like, hey, you hear about Luke P? So anyway, yes, Christine, the episode is tomorrow. I'm doing the live stream on Mondays, and then I don't know if this is a good idea. You guys let me know. Is this a good idea? I have no idea. I'm going to do the live stream today, and then I'll re-upload it first thing in the morning for people that didn't catch the live stream. So that's what the plan is. That's what I'm going to do. Should we get right into it? I think we should get right into it. Let me see if I missed any comments. Sav says, hey, I've been here since the beginning of the batch recaps. I would like a shout out. Hello. You get a shout out, my man. Wait, Sav, is that a man or a woman? What's Sav short for? Let me know. What Sav is short for. Leslie said, was Leo the one who was accused of sexual harassment? Yeah, that was the one I was talking about. It was Leo. It said earlier that your message was retracted. Was that YouTube that retracted it? Sometimes if you can't even say sexual without them pulling a comment. But yeah, he was the one. And look, I'm not telling you he's the guy that needs to lead the free world. But like, these are contestants on a dating show. You know what I mean? I bet you these guys are more vetted than the production assistants that work on the show. You know what I mean? So whenever I see someone who's the villain, even with Chad, no, don't get me wrong, he's got issues. But at first I was like, oh, he's just being honest and fun. He was actually pretty funny. We kind of liked him at first. Then he went off the rails, and that's his own issue. But yeah. Oh, Savannah. Hey, Savannah. How are you? Sav. I don't know why Sav sounded like an Indian guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, so here we go. Why don't we get started with the party? All right, here we go. Let's play some intro music, and then this will be the episode for tomorrow, starting right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown. This is the Bachelorette pre-party episode. My name's Dave Neal, stand-up comedian, and I recap the Bachelorette. It is 2020, COVID's about, and I can't go anywhere. So this is what I'm doing. Holed up inside in my... Oh, I didn't even put the lights on, guys. Boy, look at that. I'm killing the production quality. Sorry that you weren't able to experience that love there. I've got a little rundown. We're just going to talk about some Bachelorette, some Bachelor Nation stuff, and then we'll get out of here. And make sure to hit the subscribe button. Last week was my first episode on Friday. If this goes well, if people keep watching, I'll do a couple a week. I'll do one on Monday. We'll do a little pre-party before the episode. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the news. Then I'll do one on Friday. I also do a recap video. That'll be me straight to camera trying to tell jokes. That's my favorite style, is irreverent humor. If something weird happens on the show, I'm writing it down. I'm going to screen grab it, and I'm going to try to make a joke out of it. And it's my original. That's kind of the way I do it. I don't really recap the show. So in the sense where I go, well, and today they went to the Peruvian. It's like, no, what stupid thing were they wearing? You know what I mean? Were they these 6'8" tall guys have capri pants on? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to know about. That's all that I care about. Let me get in a little tighter here. Get a nice tight shot here. I just invested my money into this little thing. Can you guys see this right here? I'll pull it up. Can you see this little thing here? This cost, let me tell you guys, this cost $130. Just this little thing right here. But what it does is it lets me connect this beautiful camera to the internet in a live stream, which I never had before. So I got all this beautiful equipment. I got my Rodecaster Pro and all these fun little things here, and I can finally talk to you guys in live time. And right now we've got 38 people watching, and if you're catching this next day, we appreciate you checking it out. I'm trying to make this a little bit of like evergreen, so if you don't catch it on the live stream, you can catch it thereafter. For all my live people that are watching now, call in. I'm going to read a couple of voicemails at the end, 401-213-9828. If you catch this after the live stream, you can still call in and leave a voicemail. I'll read it on the next live stream. So here's the content schedule, subject to change. I'm going to be doing the Monday afternoon pre-party. We're going to watch the show Tuesday. Wednesday morning, my funny recap. And then Friday, I'm just going to recap my recap. I'm going to read your comments. We're going to talk about any fallout from the episode, this, that, and the other. So I think that's where we're going to be. We had a question from earlier in the chat. I had a question earlier in the chat. Would be interesting to discuss. Can you ask your question again? I don't know if I saw it here. It's hard to go backwards. I'm trying to go forwards in life. I'm trying to work on me. You know what I mean? What's going to happen tomorrow? Let's get right into the rundown. Oh, the first thing I wanted to talk about here. So hold on a second. I'm still learning how to use this watch this thing here. Wow, look at that. Boy, Photoshop 101, folks. The first thing I want to talk about was Becca's engagement ring. I thought we're talking about Becca Cuffrin and Garrett. So I thought it was very interesting. I found this out yesterday. You guys might know this. This might be common knowledge. But I found this out yesterday that you get to keep the engagement ring if you made it 2 years engaged after the episode airs. So not 2 years of full of engagement from the moment you get down on the knee, 2 years of full engagement from the date the episode airs. So let's go into if Becca's able to keep the engagement ring. Let's see if I can find this window capture here. Here it is. Bear with me as I figure this all out. So let me open this a little bit. So what we have here is an article. The day that Becca got proposed to, I guess, which by the way, it's 2020, bro. I mean, these ladies should be proposing to these guys. They don't get, the free ring and expect that they get to propose. It's her show. She should get down on the knee. You know what I mean? Oh, they could have a little, like a satin little cushion. She gets down. It could be a whole thing. Come on. Wait, but in saying that, if my now fiance had proposed to me before I had the gumption, which is a PC way to say balls, before I had the balls to propose to her, it would have been very hard to say yes. I mean, it's a weird world we live in where we want to be progressive, but at the same time, we're so stuck into these weird tropes, right? You got to give someone this ring, which used to be donkeys, right? Used to give people donkeys and chickens and stuff when you get proposed. Anyway, so we have it here, Bachelorette finale recap. So August 6, 2018, they got engaged. So what day did they break off the engagement? If they made it 2 years, she gets to keep the $40,000 ring. So here's her Instagram with a heavy heart. Garrett and I have come to the loving conclusion to end our engagement. What's the date? September 1st, 2020. How about that? You like that little, the more you know? Really killing it with the production quality here. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Do you think they should be able to keep the ring? Do you think that it was planned this way, that they didn't break up right away and it was one of those things? Because actually, it turns out she was dealing for months with Garrett about their potential breakup. She kind of toyed with it for months. So imagine being 22 months into a proposal, and if you can hold out 2 more months, you get a very expensive asset. Imagine that. What do you think? Is that something, in the chat room, they're talking about a spin-off, Virgin Diaries with Luke. Yeah, I think anyone who's a virgin on the show should have a chance to find other virgins from the show. I've been saying this all along. They need a B side to the resort. So when you get voted off, you immediately get to go into like a Bachelor's in Paradise. Imagine getting voted off by Claire, and all of a sudden you show up and it's a bunch of other, people that have been on the show, and, Jorge's there, slinging, drinks and this and that. Nomad Chica, how are you? Good to see you. She said, wait, did they break up 2 years after the engagement or after the engagement aired? I got lost in your calculations. They broke up 2 years and in several weeks after the engagement aired. So technically, I don't know the exact rules, but technically they made it to 2 years, so she's entitled to keep the engagement ring. The question is, imagine if Garrett was the one breaking up with her, and he's like, look, it's just ain't gonna work out. Imagine her being like, look, if we can make this 2 more weeks, I'll split the ring with you. I don't know. What do you guys think? Just reading the comments here. Steven Business Cohen said, Dave, you have very kind eyes. Thank you, Steve. Steve's a stand-up comedian friend of mine. And actually, you know what's crazy, Steve, is one of the last shows I did before the coronavirus hit was with Steve. And I remember making fun of the coronavirus. I remember specifically pretending like it wasn't a real thing. And here we are. So that worked out well. Good to see you, Steve. Hit the subscribe button. Sandra said, if Dale and Claire are together now, it'll be a short time. If not marriage, it's not marriage material. Oh, you don't think Dale and Claire are marriage material? Which one's not marriage material, Dale or Claire? Because Claire keeps on saying, I'm just waiting for the right guy. But, and that can be true, but it can also be dangerous to not think that you're the problem as well. I'm not saying Claire's a problem, but I think, I said this last time, I think women give each other really bad advice. I think they try to be too kind to each other. I can only imagine she's got friends that are like, you know what, babe? It ain't you, it's him. These guys suck. And it's like, well, maybe it's you. Maybe you're self-absorbed or you're, who knows? Maybe she's not. 39's not old. It's just, a couple long-term relationships that don't work out. All of a sudden, you're on The Bachelorette. Did I miss anything there? So, Kate, you're saying Caitlyn kept hers. How long was Caitlyn in? Well, they were in a relationship. No, Caitlyn wasn't in a relationship for that long, huh? Let me know if you know how long Caitlyn was in, and who was Caitlyn with. Jeez, I try to, whenever there's new cast members, I delete the old cast members because I can't remember everyone. So anyway, yeah, it's and not to mention, what's the ring worth? Even if they say a diamond ring is worth $80,000, it's only worth what people are willing to pay, right? So 15 of our favorite Bachelor engagement rings. Let's see if her ring's on here. Oh, Becca Cuffrin. So here's what she's got. Her fiance, Garrett, whatever that name is. Rejoyin? No clue. While soaking up the sun and gearing up to propose to Cuffrin in the Maldives, Garrett went to jeweler Neil Lane to find the perfect ring for his bride-to-be. They didn't update this article yet. They still think they're together. He landed on a brilliant stunner featuring not one, not two, but 3 oval diamonds. I feel like the count. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Oval diamonds totaling 3.76 carats perched on an 18-carat yellow gold band. Why 3 diamonds? I wanted it to be elegant, quite glamorous, and I wanted to use gold. Here's the thing that annoys me with this. The guy doesn't have to do anything to get that ring. I have an old bit that I used to do before Tasha and I got engaged. Before we ever started dating, I called a radio station to get a song played over Christmas. Tasha and I were just friends, and I called the radio station and I made up a lie to get them to play a song. I wanted them to play Dominic the Donkey. It was Christmas time. We were going to get peppermint schnapps and hot chocolate. And I said, hey, Tasha, I know how to get a song played. So I called the radio station. They said, who do you want to dedicate this song to? And I said, my pregnant girlfriend. Tasha hits me. We're at the grocery store. She hits me. And then they go, oh, okay, we're going to send you to the producers. So they send me to the producers, and then I'm on the radio station, Coast FM, and they said, repeat your story. Tell it again. So they said, who do you want to dedicate the diamond ring to? And I said, my pregnant girlfriend. And they said, well, because of your nice story, we want to make you our Diamond Rewards diamond ring winner. And I went speechless. I was like, thanks. Because we weren't even dating, you know what I mean? So, but I was like, you know what? If they gave me a $500 gift card or something, I would pay it forward because I knew I was lying through my teeth. I just wanted the song played. So they played Dominic the Donkey, great Christmas song. And then, I had to win it. And, she got the ring, and actually, as it worked out, we actually started dating several weeks later. So whenever I tell people, like how to get out of the friend zone, I always say, just get them a diamond. That's how you get out of the friend zone. It got me out of the friend zone. That's what happened. But I always thought it'd be funny because Tasha knew that ring was a gift. Like she knew it was, I won it. Like I didn't have to work for it, right? So like I always thought it'd be funny, like how I would propose. Like, do I get down on a knee and take it off of her ring? In right finger and then like put it on the other one, but of course I got her a proper diamond ring and all that. But yeah, I wonder, it's you're not going to turn down a free Neil Lane ring, but I wonder if the bride to be feels the same amount of love knowing that it's like, all right, bro, you won this ring, you didn't earn it, you know what I mean? I don't know. Excuse me. Dying over here. Speaking about dying, look at those roses. Got some dead roses over there. All right, we're moving forward. Did I miss something? Hold on. It looks like I had a super chat. When Model Dave learns to talk, she will dump him. Who's Model Dave? Which one's that? Okay, Lesia said, since you mentioned the election, thoughts on people accounts who try to find out or compile how Bachelor Nations vote lean politically. Some people get so heated about this. That is a great question. I'm going to save that for the end. Please remind me at the end to get into that. I just want to get through Becca's questions, this right here, and then we'll get right onto that. Stephen Cohen asked if I'm doing any outdoor shows. No, I'm not really doing any outdoor shows. I'm doing whatever comes to me, but I'm not begging for spots. All right, let's move on. We are on the, that was the Becca's engagement ring talk, and now we are previewing episode 2. So, what do you guys think? I watched the preview for episode 2, and it looks like they're going to be talking about love languages, which I've been talking about for years. If you don't know the book, The 5 Love Languages, you're doing it wrong. This book is so good. Oh, how do I go back to the love languages? Hold on a second here. There it is. The 5 Love Languages. And basically what it means is how you receive love and how you give love. Love is only... It only works when the other person knows what you're giving them. If someone's love language is physical time, physical touch, quality time, physical time, quality touch. I like to give a good quality touch there. If your love language is physical touch, but all I'm doing is giving you diamond rings, it's not going to resonate with you. My love language is affirmations. All I want is people to just tell me I'm doing a good job. I mean, that's not, rare as a stand-up comedian to have a love language be affirmations, you know what I mean? But for Tasha, it's quality time. A lot of women, not to say all men are one way or all women are another way, but women like quality time. They want their man to get down and enjoy the farmer's market with them. That's what you ladies want. about. I love affirmations, gifts. I don't really care too much about gifts. I mean, everyone likes a gift. The funny thing is with Tasha, I always think the funny thing is that she says she wants all of them. She wants gifts, acts of service, quality time, physical touch. We want it all. But they're going to be talking about this on this episode. So if you don't know what your love language is, just Google the 5 love languages and they'll tell you about them. Anyone in the chats know their love language? Like Oz, do you know what your love language is? Miss Lola says, fun fact, I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, and because typically they don't wear jewelry, conservative Adventists propose with a diamond-studded watch instead of a ring. Hey, that's nice. I hate the sweatiness you get around a watch, but that's nice. You know, get that diamond-studded. That sounds like a more expensive thing than a ring. But anyway, yeah, so they're going to be talking about the 5 love languages. I don't know. I think it's something everyone should know. I think literally the 5 love languages should be a course you learn in high school, you know, because it's not just for friends. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not just for your, romantic relationship. It's for your parents and your daughters and your friends. It's like your boss. You need to know how to grease up other people. Like you need to know what, just because I love affirmations, I can't just be calling my buddy and be like, dude, you're killing it out there. Maybe he needs quality time. You know what I mean? It's Renee says it's quality time. It's got to be quality time. I don't know. For me, it's not quality time. I'm just that dog who wants to come home with a bone. I want to come home with a gift. I always buy stupid shit. It's just my way of saying, hey, look what I found. I was thinking of you. I brought home cherry pie yesterday. Like, just cherry pie. I don't know. I was like, here, look, I can provide. It's like a very simple caveman thing. Oz says he likes quality time and words of affirmation. Well, Oz, I hope this is quality time for you because it's quality time for me. I want to give Oz an affirmation. A big shout out to my Canadian brother up there. He's been a member of our Patreon for the private membership community of the SAP forever, basically, and we really support all that you do in supporting us there. Double Mint says acts of service, cook, clean, help out with the kids. That's great. Yeah, acts of service. Ladies, let me tell you something. Let's get real here, okay? Let's get real. Do a little bit. Oh, wrong one. Do a little bit of this here. I want to get real with you guys. Compliment your guy. That's it. Words of affirmations. Yeah, he might want a gift. He might want some physical touch, but a compliment goes so far. Here's what you do. You just tell him something he's wearing and explain to him why his body looks good in that thing he's wearing. Pajamas. Hey, babe. Those pajamas look nice. They're really snug around your arms. You're looking great. Have you been working out? We're so simple. We want such simple things. I looked really creepy there staring at the camera. But the truth is, just give us I'm not telling you to give me a compliment. I'm saying get out there and give your man a compliment. Renee says quality time, meaning when we are together. I don't want you to be on your phone. I think it's having someone actually present when they are with you. We call this DTF, device-free time. DFT, sorry, DTF. It can lead to some DTF. Device-free time, DFT. Device-free time. So you have to know, like so many times we work from home, we're on the couch. When you're on your phone, sometimes you're doing business, sometimes you're stuck on TikTok. You don't know what it is, and it's up to us in a relationship to be like, hey, babe, do you want to do some device-free time? And if they go, yeah, just let me finish this, and go, okay, how much time do you need? 10 minutes? Okay, I will stop bugging you. And then in 10, 15 minutes, you go, hey, babe, are you done? And they go, oh my gosh, I got sucked into my phone. Because, we can be addicted to our phones. I'm the same way where I get addicted to social media or my YouTube. I'm like commenting on people, and I need Tasha to be like, Dave, can we go for a walk or something? I go, absolutely. Because quality time, there's a reason why they don't just say time. You're not just going, well, I was here, babe. I was just here. Quality time. Renee said quality time. Then Jen said, oh, Jen's in the house. Hey, Dave, I show my love through acts of service for sure, and I appreciate it in return. Jen has been doing plenty of acts of service for my YouTube channel. She's watched just about every video, and I appreciate you so much for it. Here's a quick reminder, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. It's really important for the analytics. My next goal, I'll say this, and we'll get to the next topic here. My next goal for my YouTube channel is 10,000 subscribers. It took me 5 years to get to 2,500, and then it took me 2 weeks to get to 6,000. We just hit 6,000 this week. Thank you guys so much. We're at like 6,070 or 6,060 or something. My next goal is 10,000. Once you have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, YouTube releases, it basically gets you to that next level where they actually give you permission to go to the YouTube studios. They have these multi-million-dollar YouTube studios, and you get to use the green room. You get to use all these different things, nice cameras, $100,000 $100,000 technology. You get to use all of it and get to network with other YouTubers, and you get that when you hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the little alert button, and hit the thumbs up button. It all helps out the algorithm. And when people say, oh, I wish more people saw your content, well, I'm just telling you, that's the way to do it. It's all about click on the thumbnail, watch the full video. Even if you're not in the room, just turn the video on and watch it, and hit the subscribe button. That's what kind of helps the algorithm decide who to watch. You said you thought I said something about how I was there with JP and Ashley or something. I don't know them personally. I wasn't on The Bachelor either, no. I do have a joke in stand-up where I say I look like every guy who's been voted off The Bachelorette. Not a finalist, week 1, got too drunk, cried at the rose ceremony. I can see my analytics for female and male breakdown. I will share that on the Friday live stream because I don't have it pulled up right now, but it's actually pretty heavy on the female. But I also do a lot of stand-up comedy in videos that are heavy skewed to the male. So I try to balance that out. I would love nothing more than, I feel like if I had a stand-up show and I had a very heavy female audience, you bring your guy to it, I feel like the guys would like me. I'm a bro here. Anyway, it was Marissa Anderson. Dave, I just found you. Think you're great. That's my affirmation, baby. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's move along here. So how do I get to the next one? Hold on. Hold on, guys. Move. There it is. Luke P. All right, I'm going to go through this quickly because I've been going a little longer than I wanted to earlier. Do you guys think Luke P was set up? I'm asking this because Luke P, of course, was the villain from Hannah Brown's season, and apparently it was the producers that gave him a diamond ring for when he returned to the show in hopes, to set him up for saying he wanted to propose. Luke P said afterwards he had no intention of proposing to her, but they kind of gave him a diamond ring, and I think that's why they ended up suing him for $100,000, and he's forced to pay them $120,000. If you haven't been following the story, that's what it's all about, and I wonder if you guys think that the producers are at fault for setting him up. And apparently he didn't even want to go on the show in the first place, and someone kind of had to nominate him. So I just wonder if they knew the sort of trolling that they were doing by getting a highly conservative person to be on the show and all that. So I don't know. Leave a comment in the comment section. Lily Dupuis said, I hope you hit 10,000 during the season. Honestly, Lily, I mean, it's crazy because it could happen next week for all you know. It could be 6 months from now. I mean, once YouTube gets their force behind you and promotes you, once they promote, like they have this thing where they promote young up-and-coming YouTubers, and it's from like that 10,000 to 20,000 range. Once they promote you, it's almost harder to get to 5,000, and then I think getting to 100,000. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but I almost think that's easier because then once you get the snowball rolling, people go, "Oh, I'll follow you. I know that guy. Sure." Anyway, I'm gonna ditch out of the rest of this Luke P talk because I don't have all the answers here. But I just thought it was curious when I read. I've been talking a lot about him, and when I read that he was talking about the fact that he was like, hey, they wanted me to come back, like they provided the car and the camera and they were like, come back to the show. So maybe it was the producers that kind of made him think that he had a better shot than he did. And then Chris Harrison had said something. Let me see if I can get back this chat for Chris Harrison. Hold on a second, folks. He was saying something. Here it is. Chris Harrison on why Bachelorette contestant Luke Parker was allowed to return twice from elimination. He basically... there was a lot of discussions about Luke coming back the second time, but Harrison admitted, but it was quick to note that he and producers weren't just keeping Parker around for the drama. Bull. He said, we as producers were thinking there's going to be some Luke P fatigue setting in and now, and if left to our devices, we probably would have gotten rid of him in that storyline either to get Hannah on track for what we would hope to be a happy ending. I can read. He said, we knew there would be fatigue, but Hannah and Luke P couldn't resolve their relationship and their issues, so therefore it lingered on, and he needed to come back because it wasn't done, and he wasn't done. That sounds like a lot of BS. Look, I get Chris Harrison's printing money. I like him. He seems like a nice guy, but I think you'd have to do some mental gymnastics to remove yourself as a producer of the show from the torment that you're causing a lot of people. I mean, it might not be a lot. I'll tell you this. I don't have 10 people in my life that I have affected their lives. What Chris Harrison, as the hierarchy of The Bachelor producer, right? The young face of the Bachelor, you could say Blake, Leo, Chad. and again, I'm not defending Chad. I'm just saying these people's lives were completely altered after Luke P. I mean, Luke P was the big. We talk about him because it's like, well, yeah, you didn't have to like him, but did you think he deserved to get sued for $100,000? Sammy said, Dave, you have to listen to Game of Roses. They get into such a bachelor pit and talk about how the producers force contestants into things. All right, I'll listen to it. I'll try. Marissa said they knew what they were doing with Luke. Yeah, they did. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they actually make him pay. Hopefully he's got like an LLC for his companies. Like, isn't this what they tell you to do? Like, you need protection from your company so you can't get sued and have them like take the assets. There's a lot of like Bible thumping people that are really mad at The Bachelor for this. And I'm like, you guys know, as I've talked about with purity culture and with the Colton Underwood stuff, I'm not defending Luke P's like slut shaming and his sort of closed-minded views. I just think it's like, look, let's not pretend like The Bachelor's not all feasting off of this blood. You know, you can get ratings without destroying somebody. They didn't bring him back on to the Women Tell All to fix his credibility. They brought him back on so they could just keep on digging that grave, right? I don't know. What do I know? Luke P set up, got it. Number 4. How do I get to number 4? Oh, geez. Hold on, folks. Bachelor student body. Okay, hear me out. You ever go to you ever see the student senate? What's it called? Like when you're in high school and there's class president, class treasurer. I thought it would be interesting if we started nominating former Bachelor contestants for Bachelor student body. And we could find out who the president would be, who the VP would be, the treasurer, who would be in charge of, the secretary. So let me know in the comments if you, and maybe that'll be for a future episode. We'll talk about it. But it'd be interesting to see because I was thinking about this, there's so many past contestants and there's so many little cliques that there really should be like a nominating committee to put them in charge of Bachelor alumni. So I think and again, I'm giving so much free gold to the Bachelor producers, but I think there should be a Bachelor alumni. Does anyone agree with me? Back to the earlier chat, Weekend Lanny said it was hard to feel bad for him. Just my feelings, though. Look, I get it. It's hard to feel bad for someone, but is it to be ignorant is one thing, to be slut shaming is another thing, to be in your 20s and then be $100,000 in debt and you're supposed to live the rest of your life. I mean, that's something that can alter someone's life. And I wanted to tell you guys this. I just had a very heavy conversation on the next episode of my podcast. The audio version's up now, episode 412. The video is going to come later this week. And I had a lawyer on who's also an activist named David Luneau, and I talked to him about the idea that can you marry someone who's of a different political party? Can you make it work? It used to be, I would be left, my wife would be right, and then we didn't talk politics, and then we lived happily ever after. But we had this really interesting discussion about Garrett and Becca, and wondering if it wasn't for the internet shame that Garrett got, could they have made their relationship work, and could Garrett have become more empathetic to Becca, to progressive movements, to to things that might not affect him and might not be on his doorstep? It's a very interesting question. Like I said, I'll upload that video. If you need to listen to the audio, go to the podcast, but I'll put the YouTube link up as soon as I've done edited it. I just got a note. Oh, we have someone subscribed. I just heard the audio there. That's fun. Who is that? Santis? Is that what that says? Santis subscribed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Doublemint says Nick Vile should be student body president. Yeah, I think he should. I think he might be, the one. And then you also have a social chair. Who's the Bachelor social chair? Sammy said I'm onto something with the Bachelor Student Council. Student Council, that's what it is. I said student body. I'm sorry. We're the student body. I knew I messed that up, but I had already exported the graphics, so I didn't do anything about that. But you're absolutely right. It's Student Council. Thank you, Leah. Thank you for everyone correcting me. Leave your comments, and maybe look. If no one else wants to do this, maybe I will do it, or one of you guys, if you're good with polls, we'll create a little sheet with a poll, and we'll nominate people, and we'll see who gets do we have what's the cabinet for the interior? What's the name of the person who's in charge of the national parks? Whoever that is, that should be Dean, right? Dean's got the van. He should be in charge of the Bachelor National Parks. Weekend Lanny said, oh my God, that would not work for my marriage. No offense. That's very interesting and good for you if that works, but it would not work for me. No, I totally understand. Tyler C, social chair. All right. I can see that. Yeah, we can lean. I understand that it's tough to date or marry someone outside of your political party, but I also think it's nice to have diversity of thought. And I think if you have a good enough idea, like if you believe in a lot of the progressive movements that maybe Becca, Lindsay, and myself, like people like that believe in, those ideas should stand on their own. And sometimes you just need to introduce your better half to, like, take this for instance. I was never really educated on a lot of women's rights issues because I just wasn't in a relationship, and I respected everybody, but I didn't know what the Hyde Amendment was. I didn't know what a lot of these things were. And then I date a feminist, and I start learning about all the different ways that, the pink tax and things. And I talk a lot about this in stand up. And it's like, you don't have to apologize for being ignorant. You have to want to seek knowledge. And I'm not saying Garrett was willfully ignorant, but clearly there's a lot of things in his life that are imprinted on him that he hasn't gotten out enough to maybe see other interactions. I've lived the last 15 years in different neighborhoods in Boston, New York, and LA, Hispanic neighborhoods, Latino, Dominican Republic. I've lived in Harlem. I mean, I only say that because you rub elbows on the subway with people that are not like you. You start to see people that get harassed or shaken down or robbed or poverty. And you see these things and you go, oh, boy, I really did come from a very insulated bubble and the world's bigger than that. And anyway, so my point being is that I wonder if Garrett and Becca had enough of a love and connection that they could have worked out their issues over time. But what we saw was like, no, blue lives matter. Oh, he said blue lives matter. And then it's all of a sudden, you can't be with this guy. And it's like, whoa, let's slow the simmer down a little bit on this and try to cook something here. That's just my thought. So I had a very interesting conversation last night. Like I said, I'll air that. Let's move on. Yeah, Renee said, you agree it was closed off and not wanting to learn the other side. And okay, I'll just say this. That's what happens with people when we live in a tribal society where you want to be right because you want to be on the winning side. We create these teams. And it's more important to be like, look, it's okay if you disagree with me, but I'm just going to keep on presenting my point of view and living my life with integrity and authenticity. And hopefully you might go, oh, that's actually a good way to do it. All right, let's move on. Weekend Lanny said, it's just that I'm an immigrant woman of color, and I totally respect if someone disagrees with my political party, but I don't see it as my responsibility to teach my significant other about my struggles or what have you. I understand, and it's not just about teaching, it's just about living with. So, like I said, it doesn't work for everyone, but I do think it's an interesting conversation that, was this something we could do before social media, Could we do this before social media brought these issues to our face, and it's kind of created a line in the sand? Let's move on. Thank you guys so much for all the interesting comments. You guys have been great. Questions and comments. All right. Well, we got one voicemail, so I think it's one. You guys got to step it up. Sammy in Florida has been killing it. Let's see if I can play this. This is Sammy from Florida. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Oh, it's not connected. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Maybe it is connected. All right, let's see if you guys can hear this. Hold on. I'll just play it this way. Hold on, folks.
Hi, Dave. It's Sammy from Florida. So I had two questions. First one was, have you seen the commercial or the sneak peek for this week's episode? And what are your thoughts on Clare having them strip? Do you think that they really are naked, or are they wearing underwear? What are your thoughts on that? Second is, do you think that Blake Moynes, or Blake M, from Clare's season is going to end up being a big front runner for Tayshia's perhaps season? And do you think he's being shown in this really sweet light in order for him to do well coming later? I don't know, just thinking ahead. Wanted to know your thoughts. Thanks so much for doing this live stream. Bye.
Oh, Sammy, you really got the award for great questions. Sammy, text me your address, and Tasha and I are going to send you a postcard. We have these little postcards we like to send people for going above and beyond. If that's creepy, don't send me your address. But if you want, text it to me, and then we'll send you a postcard, because I think that's so sweet that you've been so forthcoming in helping us, helping me get this voicemail system going. So many good questions. Do I think that Blake got a good edit because they want him to be a front runner? That's you're playing chess and I'm playing checkers. That's such a great thought. I had never really even considered it. But yeah, that makes total sense. He seems like a nice guy. it's jumping to conclusions for us because we've only seen one episode and there's 31 contestants. It's just insane. But that does seem like a great thought. Blake, he's a good-looking dude. Let me see if I can pull him up. Right, Blake. I don't want to get any spoilers here. Well, you know what he looks like. Let's see, Blake, Clare Crawley season. Let me pull him up here. He's got that nice looking beard. Blake Moynes, is that his name? Let's see if I can pull this up here for you guys. Capture that. Clare Crawley reveals what she really thought of Blake Moynes contacting her before filming. Well, who cares about that? But just show me the photo of the guy. Hold on, folks. There he is. That's him, right? So, he could be a front runner. Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of things, but Clara's gonna probably leave with Dale. That's what they're all saying. They've hinted at it. I'm not spoiling anything that they haven't wanted you guys to know. The question is, how soon does Clare bounce? Probably, by episode 3 or 4, and then Tayshia comes in. It's Tayshia, right? She comes in, and some of these guys, they might keep around, and they might bring in a couple reserves. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But that's a really great idea, great question. And then you also said that they stripped in the coming episode. I didn't see that preview. So let me ask you guys this: Do you find it uncomfortable that they strip and sort of skirt around the issue, or do you? It's weird because put it this way. I would for sure pay to watch the unedited adult version. You know what I mean? That would be more fun. I've always said this for years as I watch the show that they blur out everyone's wedgies. Our country has a real weird thing. Jen, let me know if you're still watching. If on Canadians Bachelor, if they Photoshop butt cracks. We're so strange with what we care about, and sexist too. They don't Photoshop the guys' butt cracks. They Photoshop the women's butt cracks. They don't let them. They have to wear full coverage bikinis, and it's like, look, we're watching the show at 9:00 at night. If you don't want your kid to watch something, turn it off. You know what I mean? Monitor your kid. I remember when I studied abroad in France, they had Showgirls on just network TV. That's full frontal, the movie. And it's like, geez, we live in such a purity-derived culture that it shouldn't be a weird thing. It's like body dysmorphia that we can't show people's butt cracks. Or in your case, you asked if they actually strip down. I gotta think that they wear pasties and underwear. You have to think so, because in the end, you're on a film set, and there's got to be some sort of decency law with that. There is with when it comes to stripping and things like that. You can't serve alcohol and be naked at the same time. So instead, you can either have alcohol and see a chick in a bikini, or you can have a non-alcoholic, peppermint schnapps. I don't know. The laws in this country are so strange, and they vary from state to state. So I should find out what the laws are for filming in Palm Springs. Can they be naked? Probably not. I don't think so. Yeah, but great question. Thank you so much, Sammy. I lost the chat. Let me go back to the chat and see if I missed anything else here. Jen said there's only been 2 seasons and nobody watches it. It was really bad. No censorship needed. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. I can imagine no one needs to get naked on a Canadian Bachelorette, right? They're just ice fishing. They're already cold. You watch Love Island, there's no rules. See, that's good. Yeah, it's so crazy that we treat the Bachelor world with a higher respect than we would treat our own dating lives, right? Because in our own dating lives, we wouldn't, sometimes you meet someone, you have passionate love making, that's what I like to call it, on the first night. And then sometimes it harvests slowly and it takes a few weeks to get to know someone. It's just, or longer. Everyone's different. It doesn't make you any less of a moral human if you decide to have consensual sex with someone early on. It's very strange. But I was raised Catholic, and the idea of abstaining from sex was a big one taught in school. And, a lot of people come from that same place. And then you meet someone who's like, yeah, whatever, do whatever I want with my body. And then, some people might say, well, if you have sex with too many people, you don't value the one you love. Well, maybe, but also I've been the guy who's been able to, live around and gallivant and be single and free, and then decide when I want something to commit to it. You know what I mean? So I think it's interesting how we deal with purity. I know I got off on a tangent there. Speaking of getting off, they're going to be taking their clothes off. I'll answer a few questions and then we'll get out of here. Licia said, I also vaguely remember Chris Harrison saying they thought about going to Texas to film if California didn't work out. Texas would have been great. Yeah, get on a ranch in Texas, kill some, cattle, make a whole thing out of it. The episode is on tomorrow night, Rachel. The episode is on Tuesday night. In case you're watching this on Tuesday, I don't want to get you to get confused. The episodes are on Tuesday night. I'm doing this little pre-party Monday. Moving on. Did I see? Now, Lesia, you asked me a question earlier, and I kind of forgot. Oh, so you asked me about politics and what I think about being able to know what a contestant's political party is before this show. Here's the deal. We're in such a toxic place that I don't think we should. I guess technically I'm a registered Democrat. I think I had to be to vote in the primaries. I don't exactly know how it works right now, but I lean left. I vote that way. I'm pro-choice. I'm for all the social programs that I think we should all have out there. I think we should marginally tax the handful of very wealthy people, and I think we should have better health care. All these things. You feel free to disagree. That's why we live in this world, right? I'm also for freedom of speech, and I know a lot of times there's people on the far left that try to silence others, and that's what we do in mob culture. We try to silence people. I think it's important to let people's ideas live and linger, and it helps us realize what the bad ones are and work on them to make them better. I think that's why it's good to have freedom of speech, which isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But are there contestants that come from a different way of thinking? Yeah. It doesn't mean they're bad people. They might just be Republican because... And again, I'm not equating Republicans to bad either. That's how funny it is to even talk about it. I become so sensitive. But there's plenty of people out there that are like, I'm a fiscally conservative person, and I grew up in Texas, and this is just the way it's always been. Well, keep your eyes open, and maybe there'll be a contender there that changes your mind. And I'm not surprised if it's not Biden. I'm not surprised if it's not Hillary Clinton. I'm not surprised if it's not some of these people. I mean, the DNC hasn't put off necessarily slam dunk candidates. They railroaded my guy Bernie. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. I think we need more compassion in life, more understanding, more ability to agree to disagree, and like I said, more empathy for people that are not like us, and not jumping to conclusions to decide they're a bad person. Everyone said, we got Tortella, just subscribed. Sorry, it's so small on my screen, I can't see. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're going to get to that 10,000. Don't you wait. So it's a great question, and it's great to talk about. And like I said, my next YouTube video, that's going to be my podcast clip. We're going to dive into whether or not, you can, have a political division within your love life and make it work out over time. I think it all is about letting good ideas surface and letting them rise. And I think that does happen. It's just a matter of getting to that place in your relationship where you're able to have open, honest conversations and not be sort of defensive and this and that. We have things we always disagree on. It shouldn't be, we shouldn't be so cutthroat with my way or the highway, because someone might get there. We're all learning. I mean, so many people are raised with, education that's sort of manipulative or biased. And it's people need to get to the truth on their own time. Not everyone's woke and on Twitter and this and that. People are just living their life, going to their job. Maybe their uncle's a cop, so they think Blue Lives Matter is a decent thing, and they might not realize, well, it takes away, the whole thing. So, I don't know, wasn't it Jesus who said, love thy neighbor? You know what I mean? Boy, who knew we would be quoting Jesus today, Let's read a few more of these. Sammy says, super random and niche, but I swore you touched on your books yesterday, swore you touched on your books yesterday. What was your recs for a book on a healthy relationship? I can't remember, but I wanted to read something along those lines. Here's a fun question. Out of the whole Bachelor franchise, which person would you want to interview the most? That's a great question. I think it would be Blake. Blake from Coachella. I would love to hear about his story because he's super sensitive. He got railroaded. When we talk about Bachelor court, I think Blake would be the first person I would put on trial. I think I would gain all the facts, and I would try to vindicate Blake, because it really feels like he was done a dirty and put in an impossible situation, much like Luke P was. But I think Blake actually has some pretty good moral fiber to him. Not saying Luke P doesn't, but I think Blake Hortzman or whatever the heck his name is. I'd put him on trial because he was basically accused of some very heavy stuff, and he had to release text messages to prove that wasn't the case. And he was, like I said, I think he might be one of, off the top of my head, one of the more interesting chats that I could have. Thanks so much for the question. Leslie said, I was pumped to see that modern Muslim guy on Clare's season until he squeezed the crap out of her hands and then got sent home. Was he the guy who I said looks like he sells sea salt from the Dead Sea at the mall? Was that guy? Oh boy. Thanks, Oz. I appreciate you agreeing. And it's okay if you disagree. It's totally okay. But that one, Tasha and I fought a lot over that one because I think she was seeing it from a victim's place, and I don't think that was necessarily the case. I think it was the case of the producers manipulating a situation. Oh, it takes so much to get into. I think Blake had realized just to stop talking about it, but I just don't think that helps you overcome. I can't imagine the type of therapy he would have to go through because of that. Oh boy. What did AJ say? Did I miss? Who's AJ? Hold on, guys. I'm going backwards. Did I miss any questions? I think I got it all. So leave a comment on my Instagram if you can't find me on here, at DNeils. A couple of the Asians were fine. All of that. The season's going to carry on. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, we have 69 people in the chat room. Hey now, folks. So thank you guys so much for taking part in the live discussion. I can honestly say I was afraid there would only be 1 or 0 people in the chat, and it makes my job a lot easier. I could talk for hours. I got to get going, actually, because I hijacked the apartment. But I appreciate it all so much. I have a ton of gratitude for all of the discussion and value you guys have brought to this stream. It literally wouldn't be doing this if people weren't watching. So thank you guys so much. AJ was the Dead Sea Lotion guy. Thank you for that, AJ. Yes, the Dead Sea Lotion. Boy, the second they get your hand, you're buying lotion, right? You can't help it. You gotta look away. They're so smooth. Yeah, he put a dent on her knuckle. I don't forget that. Anyway, Sammy, thank you so much for leaving a voicemail from Florida. Sammy's left 2 voicemails. Everyone else 0. So just so you know, Jen, come on, let's go. You guys are out there, leave a voice. You could text that number too if you want to ask a private question, but I prefer voicemails. That's kind of fun, even though I messed up the Bluetooth. But anyways, folks, I'm going to get out of here. So Wednesday morning will be the next recap. And then Friday we'll do the stream. Let me know if there's a time that works best on Friday. Maybe I'll move more to the afternoon. I don't know yet. But what you can do is once I decide what time I'll stream, you'll see on my YouTube channel, there'll be a thumbnail saying Dave's going to stream in 38 hours or whatever. So just hit the alert button so you'll get the alerts of when those streams come up. And then you'll be able to figure it all out from there. So again, thank you, Marissa. You said thanks for the chat. Leah, thanks, Dave, of course. Double Mint, thanks. Sandra, you love you guys. Bye, everyone. See you next time.